Think about this. How much of your life have you spent trying to fit into molds that were never meant for you? Have you ever felt like you're living a life that isn't your own? Every day we race to meet the expectations and standards set by society, family, or friends. But do they truly reflect your real essence? Or are they just clothes you wear to meet what others expect from you? We often forget that life isn't a race to meet preset standards. It's a journey of discovering and uncovering who we truly are. When you live according to others' expectations, you're just pleasing them, not living for yourself. So how do you find yourself? How do you step out of these created molds and start living the life you truly desire? In this video, we'll explore the journey of self-discovery, because real life begins the moment you recognize who you truly are. It's a challenging yet exciting journey where you'll face deep questions and embrace change to live authentically. Join me on this journey and let's explore how you can find mental freedom and the root of true happiness. So before we continue with the video and explore this interesting topic further, don't forget to like, subscribe to the Top Hidden Knowledge channel to stay updated on everything related to personal and spiritual growth. This helps us bring more content that can make a difference for you. What does it really mean to find yourself? Is it about chasing happiness, achieving success, or following your passion? Or is it something much deeper, something that involves peeling back the layers of conditioning, fears, and limiting beliefs that have built up over time? Many people live their lives without ever asking these fundamental questions. They simply follow a path that has already been mapped out for them by society, family, or tradition. But those who dare to ask themselves these questions, those who are willing to seek, are the ones who truly begin to live. Carl Jung, one of the most influential psychologists in history, described this journey as the process of individualization, the act of becoming who you truly are. According to Jung, most people live fragmented versions of themselves, disconnected from their deeper, authentic nature. We may go through the motions of daily life, but we are often not truly living as ourselves. Instead, we are living according to the expectations and norms imposed upon us. The version of yourself that you show to the world, the persona, is often just a mask, carefully crafted to fit in, to gain approval, and to avoid rejection. It's the version that gets you through social interactions, job interviews, family, gatherings, and public life. But underneath that mask is something far more powerful, your true self, the real you, waiting to be acknowledged and set free. The problem is that many of us don't even know how to uncover this true self, or we fear what we might find when we do. Why is it so difficult to find ourselves? The answer lies in the conditioning we experience from the moment we are born. From a young age, we are taught what is right and wrong, what is acceptable and what is not. We are often taught to follow rules, seek approval, and meet the expectations set by others. In doing so, we internalize beliefs about who we should be, and in the process, we lose sight of who we actually are. When we spend so much of our lives trying to fit into molds created by society or others, we often forget that our true essence lies beneath those layers. Discovering who you really are means stripping away those layers of conditioning and fear, and daring to face the discomfort of letting go of the masks we've created. It's about reconnecting with that deep, raw part of ourselves that has always been there, waiting to be embraced. Think back to when you were a child, before the world shaped your identity and told you who you were supposed to be. What did you love doing? What made you feel truly alive? That raw, unfiltered version of yourself, the one untainted by outside influences, still exists deep within you. As children, we are often guided by an innate curiosity and a sense of wonder, unencumbered by societal expectations or fears. But as we grow older, we start to adopt the identities that the world hands us. These external definitions can sometimes drown out the voice of our authentic self. Jean-Paul Sartre, one of the central figures in existential philosophy, believed that people struggle because they try to live according to external definitions, rather than creating their own meaning and purpose. Sartre argued that true freedom emerges only when we take full responsibility for defining who we are, rather than letting society dictate it for us. However, this kind of freedom is deeply unsettling for many because it means abandoning the comfort of a prescribed path. It means stepping into the unknown and carving a path uniquely your own, without a script to follow. Now pause for a moment and ask yourself, who are you when no one is watching? If there were no expectations, no rules, no judgments, who would you be? The answers to these questions are the key to discovering your true self. This process isn't about trying to become someone new. It's about uncovering the essence of who you've always been, but perhaps lost sight of along the way. The journey of self-discovery isn't about adding things to yourself, but stripping away the layers of societal conditioning, fears, and limiting beliefs that obscure your true identity. Many spiritual traditions have explored the concept of self-discovery for centuries. The ancient Greeks, for example, inscribed the words "Know thyself" at the Temple of Apollo in Delphi, underscoring the idea that self-knowledge is the foundation of wisdom. In Eastern philosophies like Hinduism and Buddhism, the journey of self-discovery is often described as peeling away illusions and false identities. The concepts of moksha in Hinduism and nirvana in Buddhism symbolize liberation from these illusions, a return to one's true essence and a realization of the deeper, timeless self beneath the surface. Ultimately, the journey to finding yourself is about reconnecting with the person you were always meant to be, not the version the world expects you to become. It's a journey of authenticity, of peeling back layers and returning to your core, where true freedom and peace lie. But here is the challenge. Finding yourself requires courage. It means questioning everything you have been told, everything you have believed, and everything you have identified with. It means facing uncomfortable truths, stepping into the unknown, and sometimes even walking away from things that no longer align with who you are becoming. This is why many people avoid it. They prefer the familiarity of their old identity, even if it keeps them trapped. So where do you begin? The first step is awareness. Begin observing yourself, your thoughts, your emotions, your reactions. Notice the patterns you have been living by. Are they truly yours, or were they given to you by someone else? The second step is exploration. Try new experiences, ask deep questions, allow yourself to be curious. Who are you beyond your job, your relationships, your past? Finally, embrace the discomfort. Growth never happens inside the comfort zone. But here is the most important thing to understand. This journey is not about finding a perfect, final version of yourself. It is about embracing change, evolution, and the endless unfolding of who you're meant to be. The self is not a fixed destination. It is a lifelong process of becoming. And in the end, the people who truly live are not the ones who follow a script, but the ones who write their own. The greatest tragedy is not failure, not mistakes, not even pain. It is going through life without ever truly knowing yourself. Because when you find yourself, that is when life truly begins. This is only the beginning. The real transformation happens when you apply this knowledge, when you take action. In the next part, we will go even deeper into the steps you can take to break free from false identities and step into your most authentic self. The most powerful revelation is still to come. Are you ready? If you are still here, it means something inside you is awakening. Maybe you have felt for a long time that there is more to life than what you have been living. Maybe you have sensed that the version of yourself you have been carrying is not truly yours, and now you are ready to take the next step. But here is the truth. Finding yourself is not a single moment of clarity. It is a journey, a process of unfolding, a continuous discovery. And the deeper you go, the more you will realize how much of your life has been built on layers that were never truly yours. Today we dive even deeper into the journey of self-discovery. To truly find yourself, you must first break free from the illusions that have kept you trapped. One of the most significant barriers to discovering who you really are is the fear of rejection. From a very young age, we are conditioned to believe that our worth is determined by how well we conform to the expectations of others. We are praised for being good, for following rules, for making others feel comfortable. But what happens when the person you truly are doesn't fit into those expectations? This is where the challenge lies. Carl Rogers, one of the most influential psychologists of the 20th century, introduced the concept of conditional self-worth, the idea that many people feel valuable only if they meet certain standards set by others. This creates a false self, a version of you that is not based on your true essence, but on the fear of rejection and the desire to be accepted. Over time, this false self becomes stronger, and the real you is buried deeper. The longer you live this way, the further you become from your true nature. Consider this. How much of your personality, your dreams, and even your opinions are truly yours? How much of your life has been shaped by what you should do or what others expect of you, instead of what you truly desire? It's a painful realization, but it's also the first step toward freedom. Because once you recognize the illusion, you can begin to break free from it and take back control of your life. Now, let's take a closer look at identity. Many people mistakenly identify themselves by the roles they play in life. They say, "I am a student. I am a mother. I am a businessman," as if these labels define their entire existence. But who are you beyond those roles? If everything you've been conditioned to believe about yourself were stripped away, what would remain? What is the core of who you are beyond all the labels, titles, and societal expectations? This question is at the heart of existentialist thought. Søren Kierkegaard, often regarded as the father of existentialism, argued that most people live in what he called despair, not because they are sad, but because they are not truly living as themselves. According to Kierkegaard, many people go through life pretending to be something they are not, wearing masks to fit into a world that does not honor their authentic selves. The despair he refers to is the pain of living a life that is not true to who you really are. He believed that the only way to break free from this despair is to take full responsibility for your own existence, to choose who you want to be, and to reject the passive acceptance of an identity given to you by others. This requires an active decision to step into your true self, even if that means letting go of the roles that no longer serve you. Only then can you begin to live authentically, according to your true values and desires. This is a journey that demands courage, honesty, and a willingness to face the uncomfortable truths about who you've become and who you are capable of being. It's not an easy path, but it is the only path to genuine fulfillment and self-empowerment. So how do you begin to find your true identity? One of the most powerful exercises is self-inquiry. Start asking yourself deep questions. What would I do if I had no fear of judgment? When do I feel most alive? What have I always been drawn to, even as a child? If I had only 1 year to live, how would I spend it? These questions may seem simple, but if you take them seriously, they can reveal profound insights about who you really are. Your truth is already inside you. You just have to remove the noise that has been drowning it out. But here is the hardest part. To find yourself, you must be willing to lose who you thought you were. You must be willing to let go of old identities, old beliefs, and even old relationships that no longer align with your truth. And this is terrifying for many people, because even if their current life is unfulfilling, at least it is familiar. The unknown is frightening, but growth only happens when you step into that unknown. This is why so many spiritual traditions emphasize the idea of death and rebirth, not in a literal sense, but as a transformation of the self. The person you once were must die so that the person you truly are can emerge. This is seen in myths and stories throughout history. The hero who must leave behind their old life to embark on a journey of self-discovery, only to return transformed. And now you are at that crossroads. You can continue living as the version of yourself that was created by others, or you can step into the unknown and start discovering who you really are. The choice is yours. But what happens after you find yourself? How do you build a life that is aligned with your true nature? In the next part, we will explore the practical steps you can take to live authentically, to make decisions that reflect your truth, and to create a life that is truly your own. The most powerful lesson of all is yet to come. If you have made it this far, something inside you is already shifting. Maybe you have started questioning the masks you wear, the beliefs you have carried, and the roles you have played. But now comes the most important part. How do you take this understanding and turn it into real change? How do you move from knowing who you are to actually living as that person? Because the truth is, Self-discovery means nothing if it does not lead to action. Many people realize they are not living as their true selves, but they stay stuck in the same patterns trapped by fear, comfort, or external pressure. But if you are truly ready to transform your life, then the next steps are crucial. The first and most powerful step is alignment. Finding yourself is not just about understanding who you are. It is about aligning your life with that truth. Think of your life as a puzzle. Every decision you make, every relationship you keep, every habit you maintain is either a piece that fits or a piece that does not. And if too many pieces do not belong, the picture of your life will always feel incomplete, distorted, or frustrating. So ask yourself, where in my life am I acting out of alignment? Are there parts of my life that do not reflect my true self? Maybe it is a job that drains you, a relationship that no longer serves you, or even a daily routine that keeps you stagnant. The first step to change is awareness. Once you see the misalignment, you cannot ignore it. But awareness alone is not enough. You must also have the courage to take action. And this is where most people hesitate, because realigning your life often means making difficult decisions. It might mean walking away from something that once felt safe. It might mean disappointing others. It might mean stepping into the unknown without a clear roadmap. But here is the paradox. The more you delay these changes, the more lost you will feel. The longer you wait, the more painful it becomes. Think of the people you admire most, not the ones who are simply successful, but the ones who radiate authenticity, purpose, and peace. What do they have in common? They have built lives that reflect who they truly are. They have made the hard choices. They have faced their fears. And because of that, they wake up every day knowing they are living a life that is truly theirs. But how do you do this? How do you move from knowing to acting? One of the most effective ways is through intentional decision-making. Every time you are faced with a choice, ask yourself, does this bring me closer to my true self or further away? Is this decision based on fear, obligation, or expectation? Or is it based on authenticity, purpose, and freedom? If you begin making choices from this place, your life will start transforming in ways you never imagined. Of course, this does not mean the journey will be easy. There will be resistance, both from within yourself and from the world around you. Your own mind will try to pull you back into old patterns, whispering doubts, fears, and excuses. And people in your life may resist your transformation, especially if they have benefited from you staying the way you were. But here is the truth. The people who truly love you will support your growth. And those who do not, they were never meant to be part of your true path anyway. This is what Viktor Frankl, the great psychologist and Holocaust survivor, meant when he said that life is not about seeking pleasure or avoiding pain, but about finding meaning. Meaning is what sustains us, and meaning comes from living in alignment with who we truly are. But here's the most exciting part. Once you start living authentically, life begins to unfold in ways you never expected. Opportunities appear, the right people come into your life, and decisions become clearer. Because when you operate from truth, everything else starts falling into place. Now there is one final and most powerful lesson left, one that will completely shift the way you see yourself and your place in the world. In the next part, we will uncover the greatest secret about self-discovery, one that will not only help you find yourself, but also show you how to live with purpose, fulfillment, and peace. If you have come this far, do not stop now. The most profound realization is still to come. You have come this far because something inside you is searching for truth. And now we arrive at the most powerful realization of all, one that will not only change the way you see yourself, but also redefine how you live from this moment forward. What if I told you that finding yourself is not actually about discovering something new? What if the real secret is that you have never been lost at all? Think about it. From the moment you were born, the core of who you are has always been there. But over time, layers of conditioning, expectations, fears, and beliefs covered that truth. You were never truly lost. You were only buried beneath everything you were told to be. And the journey of self-discovery, It is not about becoming someone new. It is about remembering who you were before the world told you who to be. This is what many ancient philosophies and spiritual traditions have tried to teach us. The concept of Atman in Hinduism, the idea of the true self in Zen Buddhism, and even the Socratic principle of knowing thyself, they all point to the same truth. You are already whole. You do not need to find yourself as if you were missing. You need to return to yourself. But how do you do that? How do you strip away everything that is not you and reconnect with the truth that has always been inside you? The answer is presence. The more you live in the present moment, the more you reconnect with yourself. When you are fully present, you are not caught in the expectations of the past or the fears of the future. You simply are. And in that state, your true self begins to emerge naturally. Eckhart Tolle, one of the most influential modern spiritual teachers, explains this concept in his book, The Power of Now. He argues that the reason so many people feel disconnected from their true selves is because they are constantly trapped in mental noise. This mental noise includes overthinking, worrying about what has already happened, reliving past mistakes, and planning endlessly for an uncertain future. All of these distractions keep you from experiencing the present moment fully. Tolle emphasizes that the real you, the essence of who you truly are, exists beyond this constant chatter. It exists in the here and now, in the present moment, where all the distractions fade away, and you can reconnect with your true self. So, here's the final challenge. Can you let go of the distractions and simply be? Can you sit in silence, observe your thoughts without judgment, and listen, not to the noise of the world around you, but to the voice within? That voice has always been there, waiting for you to pay attention. It's the still, quiet voice of your true self, the part of you that doesn't get drowned out by external noise or inner turmoil. It's been patiently waiting for you to stop and listen, to recognize it, and to allow it to guide you. But here's the ultimate truth. Finding yourself is not the end of the journey. It is just the beginning. The real work starts once you discover who you truly are. Living in alignment with that truth every day becomes the most important task. This isn't a one-time realization that changes everything in an instant. It's a continuous process. To truly live authentically, you must consistently make choices that align with your true essence. It requires constant courage to follow your inner voice, constant awareness to stay present, and the strength to act in ways that reflect who you really are. This is exactly what great thinkers like Friedrich Nietzsche meant when they spoke of becoming who you are. It's not a one-time epiphany or a sudden transformation. It is an ongoing practice, a commitment to living each day in alignment with your truth. It is a way of being, not just thinking or acting, but deeply feeling and experiencing life in a way that resonates with your authentic self. So now, the choice is in your hands. You can choose to walk away from this knowledge and return to the old patterns that no longer serve you, or you can choose to embrace this truth and step into the life that has been waiting for you all along. Life doesn't truly begin when you are born. It begins when you find yourself. It's when you step into the fullness of who you are and live according to your own truth, without fear or compromise. This is the life you were meant to live. And it starts right now. Thank you for watching. If you learned something from this video, please like, subscribe to the Top Hidden Knowledge channel for more content on wisdom, spirituality, and personal growth. Or if you have time, check out other videos on this channel. Until next time.